Happy 2015, Adam Deal, Charles Ashley. We're back, finally. Too much to talk about, Charles, but high school hoops in full swing, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Tons of high school. All I did, I stayed glued to my iPad and all that stuff and paying attention to what was going on, talking to some of the fans, seeing what was going on. So it was a good time. I love holiday hoop season because you really get to see the different teams playing. The fan support is the best part because a lot of people tweet us talking about the results of different games that we didn't cover. So that's the best part I like about it. So yeah, so keep tweeting us. Tweet me, tweet Adam, but whatever you want, questions, comments, concerns, where we should be, where we shouldn't be. I love all of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of this, right, is the interaction that we have with the students and everything that's going on. But I'll tell you this, being live at the games, Charles, and us to being there, there's nothing better than that. You said holiday hoop season. I was at that holiday hoops tournament at Rio Rancho, and I got to see a lot of great basketball, including that championship game that we'll show you this week between Rio Rancho and Hope Christian. And that's why I'm a believer right now in Rio Rancho and what they're doing. Brady Patterson adds this element to the Rams that nobody could account for. Now, I know your Bulldogs beat them in the first game of the season. They're 100% a different team now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Brady Patterson is 30 points a game. So anyone that says, oh, well, win is a win, you're fooling yourself. Someone who can score like Patterson changes the game up completely because now you have to focus on him. You have to worry about him going crazy as he did against Hope. And then you got Juan Hurt, who's shooting lights out right now, the sophomore. You got Snyder. You have Garrison. They have a nice team. The reason why we bring up
Rio Rancho again is we'll have head coach tomorrow, Wally Salata, on this show, and we'll see how he feels about his team going into this Metro tournament. Charles, big shout out to Suits Unlimited.
Yes.
They provide our apparel. They provide our wardrobe. Go visit them on San Mateo, or just past San Mateo on Manal, right across the street from Biles. Tell them we sent you. They always treat us well. They'll treat you well. We promise that.
And as I mentioned all the time, they got the winter wardrobe out. Get your scarves, hats.
Look at you.
You know, gloves. Really I need gloves. Here. I need gloves right now. It's cold. Oh, and special shout out to the co-founder, president, Mr. All Everything himself, Larry Garcia, the guy responsible for Suits Unlimited. Happy birthday, sir.
Look at that. You even know birthdays.
Hey,
all right,
stay
listen.
up on it.
Atrisco Heritage playing really good basketball. A lot better than maybe a lot of people thought. And that District 2 of 6A not looking so good with La Cueva. Well, Atrisco made a visit to go play La Cueva a week back. Let's check out the highlights here from La Cueva High School. And right away, Charles, it's Rodriguez with a triple. In fact, it was all triples early for Atrisco as Trujillo's in the corner. Give me all that. Another three-pointer. You see they're building their lead pretty fast. It's 6-5, and why not? Goulet in the corner. That's three.
Goulet. That's a nice play. And right here, those threes opened up right here. Devin Peace in the middle by himself because they're shooting the ball so well. They're kind of collapsing out there. And a nice steal right there by Rodriguez to the hole. Nice little layup. Use the glass next time, young fella. But the Cueva, they can do it too. And this guy's been doing it for him all year. Horn takes the pass, takes it all the way, left hand off the glass, gets the roll, and one. I see you.
Then it was on the inside, Ruiz. That's a bucket to go. La Cueva trying to climb back in it. Atrisco, though, builds himself an early lead. And Goulet gets out in the open floor. Finish it, young fella. Off the window, high, yes,
high
good to go. Atrisco, though, was feeling it early, Charles. Building that lead. You see Trujillo inside. Easy little bunny. That's good to go. Atrisco on top, big.
Breaking the press right there, and they're keeping it going. Pedal to the metal. Martinez, nice three, nice pass. And here, Aaron Bean, he can do more than just play quarterback. He can make layups. That was a nice play, Aaron. But La Cueva was trying to do something to stay in it. Jensen with a nice rebound, kept it high, put back.
Trying to make a climb in here. Horn in the outside corner. That's good to go. All of a sudden, it's a game. La Cueva trying to build back in it. Under a minute left. Javon Jones for good measure, but it was all said and done. 69-64, the final. Atrisco Heritage looking sharp. They had that loss against Hope Christian in the Jormio Classic that we saw, but they're really building something so far.
La Cueva, fight. They get down in these games and they got to fight all the way back. But they've made games really close. They just don't know how to start, and sometimes they get too far behind. I don't think they have enough weapons to keep doing that. They have to come out, get a better start, and I think they're going to pull off some wins, even without Overacker, who hurt his arm this week.
Another team playing really good right now is the Volcano Vista Hawks, Charles. And I think they're slowly kind of climbing up, and Coach Brown always does a great job. Well, he visited Highland to play his brother. It was Coach Brown versus Coach Brown. As the Volcano Vista Hawks taking on the Highland Hornets on the inside. That's Jacob McNeely. You'll hear that name a lot. That's and one. So Volcano starting off 5-0 inside. Look at this. Caleb Dixon, give me all of that. Off the window and in.
The big fella.
And then here on the drive, it's Joseph Overturn using the windows. Highland trying to stick around early.
That's pretty nice. And Highland, as you said, sticking around early. Jose Garcia is going to get a nice little 3-ball action right there, a little drive and dish. But Volcano had an answer. McNeely says, I can do you one better, my man. Nice 3. And Jose Garcia says, okay, I'm going to do you one better. Another 3-ball in the corner. Garcia with the long rainbow 3.
Lorenzo Vigil says, you know what? I'm going to get into the action. As cool as the other side of the pillow. That's for you, Stuart Scott.
Nice.
Big time buckets.
Nice.
And then, well, Coach Brown doesn't like it. Says, that's a double dribble. Official says, there's a technical.
Not enough of that, huh?
Sorry about that, Dan Brown. He's a friend. Step back 3, Deshaun Baker. That's good to go. Not good enough, though. Volcano Vista, easy 41-28 over the Highland Hornets.
First of all,
now
we had
Volcano.
to
Let's
start
hear what Coach
defending,
Brown has to say.
and we had trouble defending in the first half, and we logged down in the second half, did a better job on the basketball, and where we didn't have to get into all these help and recover situations. That's what hurt us. We just didn't do a good enough job in the first half on the ball. They'd go by us. We get into help and recover, and then they have open shots. And so in the second half, we did a better job on the ball. And that definitely helped us. And then offensively, we're able to pound it in a little bit better. We need those guys, and we got away from those guys in the first half, and especially in the second quarter. But we put them down low against the zone, and we're able to get the ball down there to them. And they're good players for us, and we need to establish the paint. Sometimes we fall in love with the arc too much. So we go to Clovis the 27th, I believe, 28th through the 30th. So we'll have a couple practices, not very many before we go down there. Just looking for consistency. You know, that's the key, is we got to get better with consistency. And we're not playing a full game right now, don't expect to, but we just got to get a little bit more and more consistent every day.
Coach Greg Brown, congratulations. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, Ed.
Head Coach Greg Brown, that's with Ed Nunez, did a great job on the call. Charles, I'm going to say it, Volcano's been flying under the radar so far this season. They've got some pieces.
Flying under the radar, but not as strong as the schedule, just like the Albuquerque Highs. The West Mesas, the Clevelands, Hobbs and Cleveland kind of proved that where they're at with their schedule, but we'll see come tomorrow.
We've got 3 and Out coming up next, including some NFL playoff talk. Come on back. It's uSports Central.